So welcome back everybody to BeamNG.drive, and today we're taking a look at another version of the Gavril H series. This is the H35B, basically what would be called a microbus in America or a minibus in the UK and Europe. I'm going to refer to it as a minibus because I am from the UK. And yeah, this is basically a 9-seater passenger vehicle with a seat for the driver, so it's 10 seats overall. And yeah, it's basically just a small, high occupancy vehicle for maybe going on a school trip, or maybe going to the airport with a whole load of your family or whatever else. But it's not a public transport vehicle. It's not going to be stopping at certain stops like a normal bus would be. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how strong this is going to be, because unlike the standard Vanster that we reviewed, it's not all metal down the side. Obviously it's got glass compartments on there. It probably weighs a hell of a lot more with all of those extra seats, and obviously the glass. So yeah, going to be interested to see what it can do. You can also tell that it looks different as well. It looks like the Roma, also made by Gavril. Yeah, visually it looks a little bit different as well. No performance figures on this, or even any weight figures on this, because this is a mod. But I figured, since we've never had a minibus on this game before, or at least not one that I've seen, figured it would be high time to see what one could do. So yeah, let's find out by going around all this suspension area, seeing how long it can last before it breaks, and or at least can't move. And yeah, then we'll get over to the other side where we'll roll it over a few times, blow it up, and then put it through a wall. So yeah, it's not the fastest of vehicles, even without knowing the acceleration figures. You can just tell. Then again, you wouldn't really want something that carries 10 people to be all that quick. Oh dear. That's our first roll on the side. I accidentally pressed C there. Right. Come on. Oh, it's a heavy thing. Which I guess is no surprise. Already taken a fair bit of damage there. The driver's door. Suspension is holding up though for now. We have taken a fair bit of bodywork damage there. See if we can shake anything loose. It's not particularly great on here. I think it might be because the traction control is on actually, so we'll turn that off, because that might well interfere. Well, it's a little bit hairier to drive without the traction control on, but it should at least give us more power. Wobble, 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 wobble. Suspension at the front looks a little bit lower than the rear end, so we might well have taken some damage in that regard. It is a tough old thing. Nothing's really troubled it outside of rolling on its side. Where's my... yeah, there we go. Wavy, wavy. Whoa. That was more dramatic. More damage on the left hand side. Still got our front bumper though. I'm gonna have to go back on the jump bits because that's where a lot of the damage was incurred. More speed. Whoa, there we go. Whoa, back on our wheels. It's a handy safety feature. Yeah, it's definitely a car that has archaic suspension and isn't particularly sophisticated out the side of the fact it's got traction control. We've definitely bent up a wheel though because we are pulling somewhat. Oh dear. Completely upside down that time. But again, back on our wheels. Yeah, definitely taking a lot of damage on our bodywork wise. We are pulling quite heavily to the right, which is not helpful. Not when you're trying to control a vehicle at these kind of things. But it's dealing with the most deadly aspect of this course really rather nicely. Those bumps are not kind. Yep, this is definitely one of the toughest vehicles we've had on this series so far. I'm going to have to give it the old jumps again, because this is seemingly the only thing that seems to damage it. Purely because it likes to jump back up and down. Don't think we've taken any radiator damage yet. No, we haven't. Which is a massive surprise. Not sure how long the original Vanster that we took out lasted, but I'm struggling to think that it lasted this long. Good, more body damage. One of the wheels is definitely looking a little bit more bent though. We're not turning very well anymore. Oh, there goes a spare wheel. No changing tyres anymore. What's it gonna take to kill this thing? Loss of a wheel, I imagine. And not the spare one either. But yeah, it's really pulling heavily to the right now. You can see I'm not even touching it at all, and look how much it's steering. Oh, we've lost a tyre in terms of being inflated. There finally goes the front bumper. Yeah, I don't really have all that much in the way of control anymore. Whoa. I think that might have killed it. I did try steering. It still moves, and we're just about able to turn left, but not by much. Not surprised at all there that it didn't get up there. Lacking a tyre and all that much in the way of speed at the moment. Yeah, we're not really able to turn left anymore. Come on. Nope, nope. Well, that's dead. Yeah. At the end of the day, that's what got killed at the steering, because as you can see, it steers perfectly fine to the right, but you try and turn left, and that's all you're getting from it. It's just nothing there at all. So, yeah. Not great in terms of the steering survivability, but the rest of the car holds up really rather nicely, so that should stand us in good stead for the rest of this episode. So let's see how it deals with 3 consecutive rollovers on the rollover ramp. And yeah, hopefully we fit. The original Vanster did. I don't think this is actually any bigger than the Vanster, even though it looks it purely because of the bigger windows at the back and all of the seats. Right, so let's see what this Herculean of a vehicle can do. I imagine the most susceptible thing to this is going to be the wheels. It should roll nicely, being the shape that it is. And indeed it is. Some great height there. But for now that's only really impacting the wheels in terms of landing back down. I think we've already bent up one of them. Oh, heavy impact on the roof there. Yeah, the wheels aren't looking in good shape. Still steers to some degree, but we've definitely lost some suspension, which is affecting our ability to drive. Because we turn left and we lose a wheel in the air. So yeah, we've taken a lot of damage there, but it still moves, which is all that matters for now. Come on, get going. And that's the issue with these cars: when you roll it over even once, you can struggle to get back up on the ramp. But we only lost the front bumper. That is not an essential part of the car, so no harm, no foul. Yeah, I think we've lost another wheel. Don't think we're going to be steering very well at the end of this bit. The roof is holding up though, which is nice to see. It's getting some spectacular rolls. Came down heavily on that rear left wheel though. Still move. I think we've actually fixed the vehicle because we're turning and we're not lifting a wheel up in the air. See, crashing cars does fix things. Yeah, that is miles easier to drive now. I say that as I struggle to get up on the ramp. Easily fixed though. Right, let's see if it can survive one more go. Can those wheels hold up? Oh, heavy hit on that side. Surprised we've still got a window left, to be honest. The rest have smashed. We're gonna roll back on our feet. Yes, we are. So, yeah, there we go. Overall, I think that's done rather well. Granted, there is some incursion with the roof, but I think in terms of the way that the seats look, if you're lower than those seats, or at least at those seats' heights, then you'll be fine. Yes, one seat has gone through the roof, but I think that's more of a glitch than anything else. Yeah, it looks like it's just stretched its way up. So, yeah, overall, massively impressed, especially considering the amount of damage that it's taken. And the fact it still steers well enough is also a testament to the durability of this car. So, yeah, let's reload and get lined up for the barrels, which are going to blow us up, and then eventually the cinder block wall. So let's line ourselves up, get up to 60 miles an hour. Reload and start again. Go, go, go! Hopefully it will get up to 60. Yes, we will. How will it deal with a pair of explosive barrels is the more important question. Really rather well. A lot of cars have absolutely disintegrated at the front when they've hit those barrels. But here, we seem to have gotten away with it. Will it still drive though? A lot of cars haven't after that. But we didn't land on the roof, which has also been something plenty of cars have done when they hit those barrels. They've done a front flip. But here, no, we still move, we still steer. Yeah, that's a pass, that is. So I'm saying that we've had 3 out of 3 so far. Cause it survived the rollover ramp, it survived the suspension area really rather nicely. Obviously the steering went eventually, but that's, you know, the end result of doing that over and over again. You're bound to break something at some point. And yeah, survived these barrels really nicely as well. So let's see if it can survive the cinder block wall at the same speed. So this is obviously quite a large vehicle, probably heavier than those cinder blocks overall. That's taken quite a fair bit of damage there. The roof is rippled. The front has been quite smashed in. We've actually lost some rigidity to the front doors as well. But the roof overall has held up, especially since it's been landed on by a fair few bricks again, which are not lightweight at the end of the day. Yeah, as I say, that's survived that overall nicely. Obviously, it's taken a fair bit of damage to the front. The windscreen has punched in. And I imagine if this game did simulate the windscreen being forced out or completely destroyed, that would have gone right through. But since it doesn't, then we can't really speculate on that. So yeah, the whole of the car has pretty much held up nicely. And yeah, no real deformity interior-wise. Yes, the doors have bulged outwards, but they've not bulged inwards, and yeah, overall I'm satisfied with that. So yeah, 4 out of 4 for the grid map there. The first car in a while to do that. So let's get to the crash hall and see how this deals with 30, 40 and 60 mile an hour small overlap crashes. Right, so let's see how this does now. I seem to remember the standard version of this van doing not particularly well. So yeah, we'll have to see if this has those same flaws. seem to remember the front of the cab being squished quite heavily because of the rest of the vehicle coming behind it, especially due to the way that it's designed. So yeah, let's hope that this doesn't have those same issues. It looks like it's going to, because that is not particularly good. Already the door is warped and bowed outwards with the driver window blowing out. The roof has started to move upwards, or it has even, and yeah, the steering wheel has also moved towards the driver as well. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to fail that. I mean, the steering wheel hasn't drastically come forward, but it's come forward enough to where I doubt the airbag would have much impact. Or yeah, so yeah, I think I'm gonna have to fail that one. Yeah, I am. Right, well, that's not a good start, is it? So yeah, it's clearly only gonna get worse from here on out. So let's see what happens at 40. See how much worse it's going to be. It's a more than crucial talking point there. A lot worse. A lot worse indeed. Granted, the steering wheel hasn't stayed where the driver would be, but it did come all the way towards the seat. And we've now lost any protection from the door. That's completely opened, and I'd say is quite able to be pulled off, really. Yeah, there's no resistance in that whatsoever. So yeah, that's another failure. Not drastically worse than the 30-mile-an-hour impact, but you definitely saw the difference in what happened with the steering wheel. So how bad is it going to be at 60? Oh, painful. We've even ruptured the fuel tank. That shows how much energy has travelled from the front right to the rear, because the fuel tank is at the rear, it's there. So yeah, that's really just showing how poorly designed the vehicle is. And just shows that the chassis, well, supposedly super strong chassis has only really dissipated the energy elsewhere. Because yeah, that's the chassis there. You see it? This bit here and this bit here. So they've pretty much stayed intact, but the rest of the car has suffered because of that. All of the soft bits have just disintegrated, and all of the energy has gone into the people inside, and even the fuel tank near the rear. So yeah, that ain't good. Even when the passenger door flies off, even though that's not really taking much in the way of damage, that's a bad sign. So yeah, and not only did it get ripped off, it launched all the way back here. So yeah, a lot of the energy just went into the bits that weren't all that strong, whereas the strong bits just didn't really help at all. So yeah, gonna have to give that 0 out of 3 here. So yeah, this is currently only on 4 out of 10, which is not a great score at all. So despite quite a strong start. So yeah, let's nonetheless get to the highway and see how this deals with two similarly weighted and sized vehicles, and then one that really isn't. So welcome to the highway, and because I don't have a clue how much this actually weighs, I'm just going to go for two vehicles that I feel that would be about the same kind of weight. So we're going up against the off-road Roma version, so let's see what happens. Now this weighs nearly £6,000. feel that £6,000 seems about the same kind of weight as this. Slightly off centre, but it's fine. Oh, fuel tanks. Well, fuel. Whatever they're called, I can't remember. But yeah, launched at us and jerry cans. That's it. And yeah, I think overall we dealt with that okay. I didn't see much movement from the steering wheel on our part. And it's not travelled that far forward. To be honest, it looks no worse than, say, a 30 mile an hour, a small oval crash test, but because it's not primarily centred on the left hand side of the vehicle, I think it's dealt with it a little bit better. So yeah, I'm going to give it a pass there. It's not a resounding one, but it is a pass that I feel is, you know, can be justified. So at least we've kept all of our wheels, unlike the Roma, so there is that. But yeah, the rest of the car has taken a fair bit of damage. But yeah, look at the Roma, that has taken a fair old whack. The only reason the rest of the car looks alright is because it has a rollover cage, I imagine. So yeah, I feel like we've won that one overall as well. So oh dear, sorry. So yeah, let's reload and find another vehicle that probably be about the same kind of weight. Let's go for a D series. Ooh, these are quite weighty, aren't they? The Dualies in particular. Let's go for the D10 Zeta. It's significantly lighter than the Roma that we just went up against, but not drastically so. It's only about £700. So it'll be interesting to see what this can do in comparison. Geronimo! Oh! I think the D series won that one, to be honest. Yeah, the door might well have popped open, but the rest of the car held up nicely, whereas we didn't. Somehow that's worse than the Roma. Not quite sure why. Maybe it's just because the D-Series is a little bit older, so it's probably got more in the way of less soft materials going for it. But either way, that is, yeah, not done as well. Steering wheel is not only looking closer, but it's also slightly off-centre as well. So yeah, I'm not going to call that a pass on that one, because look, the steering wheel isn't quite as central, and it does look actually quite a bit closer, so yeah, but that's just me judging it. Maybe you're seeing it a different way, but for me that is not a pass. So yeah, we're currently on 5 out of 10. Don't think we're going to go up anymore, given that we're now going to go up against the unsuitable vehicle in the form of a semi. So let's replace this. We're going to get rid of the ram plow, obviously, because that really wouldn't be fair. But yeah, we have to go for this version because it's probably the only one that can get up to 60 in the short space of time. To death. Slow this right the way down. So yeah, what's going to happen? Are we going to be any worse than we were in the last few crashes, or not? Take your bets now. Way worse. Way worse. I mean, we've even blown out the windows at the rear. Yeah, there'll be no coming back from that one. Yeah, we even lost the drive line, which is the first time that's actually gone on this episode. So yeah, unsurprisingly, a massive fail. Yeah, the dashboard is where your face is practically, and yeah, but the T-Series here hasn't gotten away with much. Why is that saying its drive line's gone when blatantly it isn't? Its face is stuck in me. Get off. I'll reload it. I just wait to see the damage on us, to be honest. So yeah, quite catastrophic there. It shortened the vehicle by a fair few inches as well. So yeah, on the whole, this has not been as good as I hoped, especially given after how good it was on the grid map. But yeah, 5 out of 10 is all we're going to be scoring this, so about average. But yeah, given the strong start it had, this could have been a lot better, but just the design of the vehicle is what killed it, and it's the exact same way that killed the Vanster. Just the fact that right behind the driver's door and the passenger door, there's a lot of strength, and that just really makes the front end really weak and far too soft and brittle, and it just gets crushed inwards because this doesn't move anywhere. Yes, the roof might rumple a bit, but yeah, it just does not give way to normal impacts. It just stays there and makes the rest of the car suffer for it. So yeah, guess that's overall no real surprise given how the Vanster turned out, but I did want to try out a minibus just because it's a more unique vehicle, and yeah, not one you often see on games generally, never mind on physics games. So yeah, nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.